In a recent interview, Chris Hart said that he probably won't be doing award shows anymore because they're not friendly to comedy anymore. Uh, it was suggested and partially true that when, for example, a comedian makes a joke about a bunch of actors that probably have millions of dollars in the bank getting made fun of at the Oscars, they often get the interview question, how'd you feel when so and so made that joke about you? And so it becomes a drama fest. And then, of course, we all know about what happened when when Chris Rock made fun of Jada Pinkett Smith. But there is a thing to be said about something that often comes up when discussing comedy. And that's the idea that you should always punch up, not down. I think this is a much more complex issue for a variety of reasons. For one thing, as soon as you say somebody's incapable of being made fun of, you have elevated them to the point where it might be interesting to discuss why they are beyond the ability to be made fun of. Also, it's a matter of when you are joking with them about them, even if it can be a little bit mean, you are bringing them into the conversation. Bob Saget, when he had a roast done to him, there were some mean jokes about it to the point where he was slouching down in his chair and he was asked to sit up because it looked like he wasn't having a good time. In an interview discussing this very issue, he said, yeah, but all the jokes were true. But there is something to be said about understanding the context of the culture within the way you are making jokes. For example, Jeff Foxworthy can make his redneck jokes. Jeff Foxworthy cannot do Chris Rock's how black people use the N word. However, Chris Rock can probably make a redneck joke. There is a different context there. Robert Downey Jr., in a discussion on Joe Rogan, was talking about his character in Tropic Thunder not being able to be done today. I don't think this is necessarily true because with the right skill and the right talent, you can pull off any joke. And I do see a backlash against the modern, woke um, attempts at cancel culture and people actually standing up for it, standing up against it because it's gone too far, even if some of it was legitimate in the past. One thing I will say though is when it comes to political humor and certain kinds of humor, especially if you only target one group that you think is a safe group to be targeting, you are not necessarily a comedian, you are a bully, especially when your jokes are lame. There was a comedian who I won't say his name because I don't know it and I don't feel like finding it. He was making a joke about talking to some guy who said something racist online, and his attempt at humor was, and you can get out of your mother's basement. One of the lamest jokes you can actually pull off. That is high school level stupid. Yet he thought this was okay because his target was a racist and everybody would give him seal claps. And when he heard next, because somebody didn't accept his uh, virtue signal attempt at a joke, again, not really a punchline, just talking smack, being an online troll, he went off on this heckler. Maybe the heckler just expected better from a professional comedian than get out of your mother's basement.